So today I am celebrating World Religion Day, which is something that I feel a little bit conflicted about, because for all the beauty that religion has brought into this world, it has also brought a considerable amount of suffering, largely through the bodies of the institutionalized religions. I believe that the birth of religion was an act of poetry, and a desire to express the inexpressible. When we point to objects in this world, I can say that's a tree, that's a lion, that's a stone, that's a leaf, and I can point to these individual objects that I can see separated from the background. But what I can't point to is that thing that seems to shimmer behind all of these individual objects from which they all seem to emerge, and that there's something about life that is just completely inexplicable, that we can never put down into a single sentence and point to it and say that's what life is. You know, if we try to describe the expression on someone's face or an experience that goes beyond the normal, mundane, everyday experiences that we have, it rapidly becomes impossible to be able to put it into words. In fact, I am one of those people that spends probably far too much time trying to express the inexpressible in words. And so I think for that reason we invented poetry. Poetry was the ability to break the rules, to hint towards something that can't be expressed in that normal, rational way. Perhaps poetry even came before the use of rational language, although I'm obviously approaching it in time from a place where rationality and reason seems to have dominated everything, and so poetry seems to be something behind it. So it's for that reason I believe that we developed stories and mythologies to be able to describe things that we were noticing about being human, to be able to put them into a form that we could remember and connect to. And you know, for me, the word God is just like the word money. Like, nobody can really truly define what money is. It's this energy of transfer. You know, there's many definitions that you can find in economics textbooks, but actually money is a symbol that we choose to believe in. We choose to accept it. So it's funny that atheists who will not trade in the language of God trade in the language of money all the time without giving any second thought to it. It's just a convenient way of expressing something that otherwise would be extremely difficult to put into words. And so God is one of those words. It's just one of many words that we went, oh God, I can't begin to explain it. I'm just going to say it's God. And then we've chosen to place our values and put characteristics and personalities onto this sense of God, so that we can have something to relate to, because trying to relate to something that's completely untangible and inexpressible is, well, you know, how do you do that? I mean, some faiths, some religions have made a point of never expressing, you know, there's holy words for God that you are never supposed to say out loud because they are the true name of God. And, you know, so for me, religions have grown out of a simple appreciation for poetry, for symbolism, for the beauty of mythology, of wanting to adorn our understandings of the world with colour, with light, with sound, with feelings and textures and themes and stories. And so for me, this is what religion is in its most beautiful sense. Religion, as I understand it etymologically, means the binding together of people, and it ties people together in such a way that they are able to share some beliefs, to be able to share a way of thinking, so that they can actually bond together around a particular set of ideas. And what could be wrong with that? The trouble is that we've then ended up developing these institutions and these written words that have given people too much authority to speak on behalf of God, this inexpressible, inexplicable thing that really was just an idea that we created as a convention to bring people together, not to then use as a tool to manipulate each other. So I think there's extreme beauty in most of the religious faiths that I've encountered. At the kernel, at the beginning, there was a beautiful idea that was set into motion by a group of people that shared a particular understanding. What happened later is a completely different matter. Now, I'm a fan of Christopher Hitchens, which is probably strange to some people who, to think that I consider myself a spiritual atheist. Why would I don't want to believe in anything. I don't want to, I really want to experience reality as directly as I possibly can. And so I don't have any beliefs, and yet I have a real conviction of a spiritual reality, something that is, like I said earlier, shimmering beneath the material surface of the reality that we normally perceive. So what is religion to me? It's not something that I practice, although I have an appreciation of it. And I don't think there's anything inherently wrong in it, as long as people can, stay just one step removed and remember that the stories that we recount in religious texts and religious mythology are stories, and they ultimately may have been divinely inspired, but they have come through us human beings that are so flawed and carry so many paradoxical traits. So today I want to join the celebration of World Religion Day. I'm also a bit concerned that World Religion Day might be a predecessor to some totalitarian insistence that we all observe the same religion, which is some melding together of all religions and ends up becoming another tool for power and for human authority over others, which is something I just cannot possibly subscribe to. So wishing to connect with all religious people and all a-religious people on this day, today, World Religion Day.